Hello and welcome to this new video in the SQL section. In this video, we will learn another constraint called as check. We have seen three constraints until now: primary key, not null, and unique. This is the fourth one in the series. So let's get started. I already have a create table and insert statements ready over here to save time. So for example, let us name this table as employees 5 for right now. Our focus is primarily on only check constraint, so we're not bothered about the other things what we have learned earlier, although you can use them along with this. So check constraint, as the name says suggests, is it puts some kind of validation when you insert the data. Let me give you an example. For instance, you know that we have this salary field wherein we can enter a value, but right now the threat to this is that people can enter any value on this. It can be a negative value also, it can be 0, which is incorrect. So we have to put some conditions over here or restrictions, and that is what check constraint is going to help us with. So how do you do it? While creating the table, you can write this check, in brackets you write the condition. Mostly the condition will be a boolean condition which returns you true or false. So you can say the salary should be greater than equal to 10,000, wherein you would be knowing that your salary cannot be below a certain number or it cannot be negative. So whatever you feel like, you can put a condition over here and create your table. And now let's create this. For example, this went through. Now let me add another employee and time to test the negative. Negative in the sense that when it will fail. So if you run this, now it says the insert statement conflicted with the check constraint. The conflict occurred in the database so and so table, and look at the column salary. So now you come to know there is some error with this. However, with this error, it is not clear as to what value is acceptable. How will you find out that? I'll show you. So what you can do is you can refresh your tables folder, go to your table, right click, and I showed you how you can generate the script. So right click, if you want to generate the script, you will use this script table as create to new query window. So the SSMS will generate the script for us. Scroll down, there are many things which we might have not done. That's okay. So look at here, it is showing this check constraint into a command called alter table, which we'll learn in future. Alter table is to modify existing table, and it shows that the salary should be greater than 10,000. This is how you will understand what condition was placed on the check constraint. Why this is important is because when you were using unique constraint or primary key and when you were inserting duplicates, it was clearly telling you which is the duplicate value that cannot be accepted. But the check constraint over here is only telling you the column on which the error has occurred, but it is not telling the condition. So that's why creating scripts will help you. Now this is one thing. Similarly, we can see, let me do one more thing. New window. Let's say there is another column, gender. Just for some variations, I'll show you. The possibilities are endless. So here, I will introduce a new data type for you called as char. Now what is difference between char and varchar? Varchar means variable length of character. For employee name, I have said 100. It means that I can insert any number of characters from 0 to 100, which are variable, because you will never know how many characters can come. But when you're pretty sure that always, you will have X number of characters, let's say 10 characters, 5 characters, 20 characters, then you can use a data type called as char. The only difference between both is this is fixed length and this is variable length. But you have to make sure that you strictly know 100% of the times that your limit will not exceed. So for example, you're sure that every time you're going to insert 5 characters, you will use char. But often you will see varchar being used for variable, for that variable length. For gender, I'm going to say char of 1 because I know gender I'm going to use like prefixes or initials only. For male, we are going to use M. For female, we are going to use F. And for others, we are going to use O. So how do we do? So in this, I'll say check gender equals M. But it's not just one condition. It can either be M, either be O, or be F. So how do you do? When I say either, immediately it should strike to your mind. The OR is calling us. So we have to use OR, again OR, and F. And again OR over here in between. So this is how you will use this. And now time to test. So for example, salary is fine. And then I try to insert, let's say, M. So this should go through. Sorry, that was not the place. M should be here. And this is my column name, gender. Now this will go through. Copy paste. Let me do 2. Let's say Amanda. This is F. This is fine. And let us take third employee. Let's say XYZ. O. Right? Actually, we should have said over here. I'll have to do this again. Sorry. So drop table. Okay, so we are saying gender can be either M, F, or O. Create and run these 3 statements. So that's fine. Now, if you insert anything apart from M, F, or O, for example X, this will not be permissible. So it's saying insert statement conflicted with the check constraint. The conflict occurred in the gender column. So this is how you can put a restriction by which it will validate your data at the time of inserting the data or loading the data. And one another thing is, there is a smart substitute for this, as we know. Instead of writing this, you can just reframe by using the in operator. Say M, F, O, this way. So I'll just keep this syntax for you, but I'll comment this out. So you can do this or this. However, this is shortcut. All right. And there are many more things when we increase our reach, like in date time, etc. I'll show you more things in this, but the logic will remain the same. So this is about check constraint, which helps us to put that restriction or validation. See you in the next video.